Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another installment in our Tetris Talk series. I do this video once a month, and I try to do it on the first Tuesday of every single month to talk about a couple of updates for the channel, life, and other items, and allow you a platform to ask me any questions. So if there is something that you would like to ask me directly, go ahead and drop that in the comments here, and we will address it in about a month's time when we get back to this series, because I have a lot of fun with it, and it helps me kind of talk through my thought process and plans for what I like to do. I do have one comment that we need to address from last month's video, and it's a comment coming in from Otis Driftwood, and it is concerning a Friday the 13th Switch game party or game group. Now, I'm not opposed to doing something like that, and what I would likely do if I'm able, it'll be more of a day of type thing if I can do it at all. But what I would like to do with that is host that over on Twitch and kind of play around with things that way. So if you're not already familiar, I do have a Twitch channel. I don't stream there as frequently, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in just a few moments. But if you do want to follow me over there so you can catch my streams when they do occur, the link is down below every single one of my videos. You can find it there and you can give me a follow there. And hopefully I will be in a place where I'll be able to stream with a bit more frequency coming up here. And that brings me into a couple of the other things that I wanted to at least pass and mention about. I'm currently going through the process of attempting to move out of the place that I'm currently in, just because it will allow a bit more of a liberating space. And that's about as detailed as I want to get with that process, but if I am able to do so, it will allow me to stream a bit more frequently, because it will be a lot more convenient for me in a space that's a little bit more conducive to that type of a platform. And in that regard, I hope to be able to stream more frequently and more games, because there's a lot of items that I'd like to do, whether that's first playthroughs of games that I'm really excited for, revisiting games that I've played a while back, or anything in between. And like we just mentioned, being able to play around with those that are in this small little community that I've been cultivating over the last 2 years at this point. We're small, but I feel like those of you that show up to these videos with consistency do appreciate the stuff that I provide. So I do thank you for that as well. Now, I've been doing a lot of testing in my own time with a bunch of different stuff. I'm still working on the 100 Days Minecraft series, and that is going to be a very interesting experience to go back through and edit, because I've never done a video where I do kind of post-recording script analysis type work, and I hope that that turns out being well enough, but it's certainly a chore to collect all of that footage and kind of walk myself through the process of what I'd like to do with that. So hopefully that comes out here in the next couple of weeks if I'm able to continue working through that, and if the script writing process goes well enough, because I don't really do scripts for a lot of my content. I have bullet points and lists of things that I'd like to talk about, but I've never sat down and really read off a script. I mean, there's one video that I did where I was talking about Hightail and how Hightail will likely not be the Minecraft killer or be as successful as Minecraft has been. That's really the only time that I've ever scripted a video and read from said script word for word as I was going through the discussion material. So we'll have to see how this project goes, because it kind of leans back more into that territory that I'm not as familiar with, which it's good to kind of stretch yourself and get more familiar with things that you otherwise wouldn't experiment with. I've also been doing quite a bit of testing with how to reclaim the record that was taken from me, and there's a couple of things that I've nailed it down to where we can shave a couple of minutes off of the current run, and this is again for the New Game Plus category of Ultimate Alliance 3. So hopefully I'm able to finalize that and get it to a point where it's a lot more consistent and I can pull that off in an actual live stream format. I don't think that the run's nearing perfection per se, but it is cutting out a lot of the errors that one would tend to run into when doing those types of runs. So we'll have to see how that goes. Hopefully I can get a world record attempt stream going towards the end of the month, but again, we'll have to see how that process of moving, if that does happen within the next month or so, plays into that as well. And I'm really hoping that I can continue to keep up with the daily uploads even during that process. If I have to take a break, it's not the end of the world, but I'd prefer to be able to have content ready to go to stave me over into that time frame. And that whole process has eaten up a lot of my time. So if you notice that the videos are being uploaded a little bit later in the day than they normally are, that's the main driving factor as to why. So just know that I do think about it, and I'm constantly working on projects that I can share with you that I think are fun and interesting, and hopefully you do as well. I do know that this is the month where New World is supposed to launch. It's been basically, I think, a year and a half since they initially intended launching, and I'm still on the fence as to whether or not I want to do anything with that game. I did see a couple of articles that were talking about the game being pretty demanding on hardware, and though my computer is fairly capable of handling that type of game or that type of program, it does make me a little bit cautious at the same time with whether or not it would be able to keep up with the high demand of those types of games. So we'll keep that on the contingent list of games that we can play and look into, either again in a live stream format or in more targeted videos towards inter-game mechanics. But we'll have to see, because a lot of those types of games can also be quite time consuming as well. So it's something that you kind of have to weigh out whether or not it's worth your time looking into. I do like the rhythm that we've had going so far with the daily videos and kind of having days designated to different video series, you know, doing Minecraft on Monday, Thursday, doing mobile games on Tuesday, Friday, and then sticking with the Ultimate Alliance videos on Wednesday, Saturday, with what has become, for the time being, a Pokemon Unite series for Sundays, talking about the different characters that are playable within that game. That's been a lot of fun, and I'm really appreciative of it being free to play, though it can be a little bit frustrating to have some of the opponents that you're facing off against having been able to pour more time into the game, or having spent money to level up their gear, as well as purchase other Pokemon that they can use within the game. But that's just kind of what it boils down to at the end of the day, so you just kind of gotta accept that that's the case. But it's been fun, and I hope to do more with that. I'm also working on a series for Smash Ultimate that I have seen a lot of people talking about, the level 9 Kazuya CPU, and yes, he is a very difficult character to fight against, but a lot of people who are running quote-unquote tournaments with him aren't really allowing him to run as free as I feel like he should be allowed to be. So in my own time, I've been running a bunch of preliminary pool rounds to seed a tournament with level 9 CPUs of every single character within the game. And so once I have finished that and I've got it worked into a good video type format, you should expect to see those either intermingled with the Sunday videos or have that take over from the Pokemon Unite videos for the couple of weeks that that series runs. Either way, I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's been a lot of it's been very interesting to watch these CPUs fight against each other, to be sure. But I do think that that's where I'm going to end today's discussion. Again, if you have any questions that you would like me to answer in next month's installment of Tetris Talk, be sure to leave those in the comments down below. If you enjoyed today's video and discussion, make sure that you leave a like, and don't forget to subscribe for the daily variety content, because We are a small handful of subscribers away from that 1,000 subscriber milestone, which I'm hoping is before the end of the week. So thanks again for your time, and I hope that you have a fantastic rest of your day. Take care, everyone.